Hey guys, Matt here from Underground Experience, and today I'm interviewing the metal slash hard rock group Katharsis. They're based out of Michigan, and I have all four of them here today, and they're gonna introduce themselves.
I'm Aaron. I'm the singer and I play guitar.
I'm Beck. I play guitar.
I'm Tyler and I play bass.
My name's Dom and I play drums.
Cool. All right, let's get right into this. So the first thing is, what would you say are some of the origins of your sound? And what I mean by that is maybe some references or some other bands that kind of inspired to make this cool cocktail new kind of sound that you guys are trying to push forward.
Initially, it was really mostly grunge and like classic metal, like Metallica. And then obviously, as we've gained new members because Tyler and Beck joined the band like 6 months ago, and we started writing completely different. We started using more odd meter and kind of writing longer songs and including more harmonies in our music. So I'd say like a lot for me personally, it would be more like Megadeth and Trivium, Gojira, like those bands, Tool. That's just for me though.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely hear those.
I know Beck's really influenced by Doom.
Yeah.
I love the Doom metal.
Yeah, doom metal is really cool. Yeah, I really like the sound you guys have. And if I were to explain this to someone who's never heard it, I would say it is like if you took Alice in Chains or some other metal grunge group and just kind of combine them with the like, you take like the almost the vocals of like those kind of bands with kind of like they're like very not melodic, but they're a very different juxtaposed to the music, right? It's almost like these really beautiful kind of screaming vocals with this like really harsh rock sound. And I think it's almost like if you took those bands and combined it with like the artistic expression on guitar and drum that you have in like a band like Megadeth. That's how I would describe it personally. I think yeah. And I could definitely hear those influences. So that's why I wanted to ask. And I also asked that because for new listeners, that really helps them. If they like this band, then they might like yours. And I think honestly, if you like any kind of hard rock or metal band, there's something you can find here with your diverse discography. So yeah.
Yeah, we're working on a body of work right now. And it's pretty it's pretty diverse with all of the different influences that we have. Like hard rock. There's a lot of hard rock. There's a lot of progressive metal. There's a lot of like kind of classic heavy metal sounding stuff, some new metal sounding stuff. A lot of stuff combined together. Like definitely not just heavy metal, not just that grungy sound. It's a combo of everything. We really try to just like write whatever we want, and then put it together and hope it sounds right.
For sure.
A lot of
I was listening to your. Oh, sorry. You go. Yeah.
A lot of the songs on this upcoming album that we're working on have been songs we've had for within the last couple of years before these guys were in the band, and the band had a very different sound because of it. And now I think there's about how many songs? Three or four songs that are going to be on there that we have written very recently, and a good three of them that we actually wrote with them in the band that are completely different from anything that we've ever released or and written everything.
So, and that was within like the past like 7-8 months.
Yeah.
Since December.
Yeah. The past 7 or 8 months, we've also played like a crap ton of shows and been doing stuff like that. And, while we were writing and while we were like getting all of these songs kind of put together, we were also like doing a crap ton of shows so we could like kind of make enough money at all those gigs to afford to get it produced like well.
Yeah.
Really,
I really enjoy your earlier stuff too, even though it's different. I really do enjoy it. Like I was just listening to GFY, and that's a great song. I really love the drums in that one. Just so much toms. Just it's really cool. It's fun.
One was really like when I tried to put the drum part together, it was like something I was trying to think of something else to do, and I was really into Tool, and that it's almost completely a Tool drum part, but that's one of my favorite songs to play live, and it's a favorite among all the songs that we've released.
I still play that one quite a bit.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah. So as I was listening to that, I definitely like was like, this sounds really good, like as in the artistic expression, also as in the sound, just generally. But I was like, what is kind of lacking here? And I was like, well, it's kind of the production. And when I listened to your newer stuff, I was like, wow, that production is really good. Like this sounds like really well made. And it almost made me think like it would almost be worth like even re-recording those old ones just because they're so, or a live version just because they're so great.
Well, yeah, it's funny that you say that because I think GFY is one of the ones that we're doing the re-recording.
Great. That's awesome.
What we're doing for the song, we're changing the tuning. We're playing it in our lower tuning, which makes it sound heavier. It gives it a new. It gives the song a new life. And I think with new guys in the band, it's good because that song was popular with our older members, and I think it gives it a new face, these new faces. So it's good.
We played in 2 tunings, and we randomly decided to throw it on the end of a set one time because we're like, well, people really like that song, but let's close with it. But we usually ended our set with all of the drop B stuff because our newest song that we had put out was in drop B. Pardon. Our newest song that we put out was in drop B, Insomniac. And we wanted to kind of end with GFY, but we're like, how are we going to end with both of those? We're like, well, let's just play it in B. Why not? We could do that. There's no rules. Cool. No one tells us what tuning we can play our stuff in. So
that's true.
Yeah.
And I'll give it some new flavor too for people who have listened to it already a lot. It'll be like not a completely new song, but something familiar, but still something really entertaining. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
No idea. Props to you guys for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Well, it's good that we're kind of fulfilling that thing where you're like, where you said like, I really like that song. It would sound really cool if it was, re-recorded. It's like, well, guess what?
That's
I know.
happening.
I was so surprised. I didn't expect to be like a prophet or something, but yeah.
It's a prophecy of sorts.
Yeah, exactly. But either way, yeah, I'm really excited for what's coming up, and I think you guys have a really good thing going. So yeah, just want to say that. But yeah, where did the name Katharsis come from? Like, I know it's obvious. Like, what inspired you to kind of label and brand your band in the way you do, whether it's the album covers or the name or just the way you guys brand yourself? What's kind of the inspiration other than just a lot of classic metal tropes?
I really wish I could say that it was this really deep thought out thing, but the original lineup, pretty much like after the second week of practicing, we had like 2 songs written, and I was like, all right, we need a band name. And my drummer was like really into like hair metal, and he really wanted to call the band Rocking Horse. And I was like, no,
this is not.
I'm like, I wanted I said original drummer, and then I actually said I wanted to call the band Zoom, which is ironic because that would have that really would have blown up had the name been Zoom. People would be Googling Zoom all the time. But
that would have been great, yeah.
Yeah, but our original guitar player is a really good friend of mine. His name's Alex Moss, and he said, "Well, why don't we call it Katharsis?" And then our old bass player Kevin was like, "He's like, I like the name because the meaning is like the release, a release through artistic expression or through music, or something like that. I don't remember the exact definition, but Kevin was like, well, what if we start with a K, like corn?" Because he was like a big Korn fan. That's literally it. There's no mystical, like funny, like, or there's no like mystical, like deep meaning behind it. It's literally just that's how it happened.
Well,
it's kind of lame.
No, I think it's cool. Honestly, it's cool. Like, you could be very unfortunate and have your band's named after, or you could have a story like Korn does, if you know that story why their band is named after.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of good, keeping it simple, if you know. But yeah, simplicity sometimes is the best because you don't want to overcomplicate things on a level of which people can not understand, but you want to provoke deep thinking, but at the same time sometimes I don't know, that's hard. Like that's sometimes it's just easier to I think that's really cool though. That's really cool.
Yeah, if you want to come up with something deep and edgy and philosophical, then it should just be like the name of your album or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Not foreshadowing or anything.
No, oh, okay. That's
Oh.
cool. Cool. So that kind of leads into my next question. I know this is usually a very sensitive subject, or not sensitive, but very like concealed kind of topic. But what are your future plans that you're willing to share with your fans and maybe some new fans for music, live stuff, all that stuff?
Working on a body of work that's going to come out eventually. And then we've got some shows coming up, and we've got a headlining show. Can't say the name of the location, can't say the name of the local act, or the sporting acts, can't say the name of the venue, but we have a headlining show coming up. We've got some other podcasts. We're going to perform on one of them. But yeah, I mean, that's literally all we got coming up that we're willing to share.
That's still, yeah, that you're willing to share. That's still really cool. That shows people that you're still working hard and new content is going to come out, whether it's live or so. That's really good because
we're doing Twitch. That's another thing.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
we're gonna start live streaming on Twitch. Pretty much like either at the beginning or the end of practice. Kind of take some song requests, maybe take some cover requests, and kind of like revisit them the next week. Answer some questions, kind of hang out, and then think about maybe like doing some other stuff to kind of get on a personal level with.
You're good.
Maybe doing some other stuff to try and get on a personal level with our followers. Do some live streams maybe that aren't music related, but are kind of more. I was actually thinking me and Beck have been hanging out and like playing video games together, and it'd be kind of cool to like do that and live stream it. Kind of just get a different side of us, kind of be more personable, just hang out, maybe even have our friends that follow us, our fans, our followers, whatever you want to call them, jump on, play video games with them. I don't know, like Warzone or Apex or something silly like that. Just
that's cool.
Take full advantage of the Twitch thing.
Yeah, I think that's a great platform to use. Honestly, it's very creative because I'm not sure if a lot of people do this, but I haven't seen this really done before too much on Twitch on the music level, at least.
I took heavy influence from Matt Hafey on that one.
Okay, cool. That's cool. But either way, like that's still a genius. That's still a great idea, and I think that platform is a really good one. Because like the only thing that you can do better than make someone like your music or create music someone likes is to get them to like you as a person. And I think showing off your personalities will definitely do that. I think that people are going to love not just the music, but also the band members of Katharsis and everything that you guys have to share. So I think that's really cool. The only other thing I can think of is it's a very different band than you guys, but Fish. They did or Trey Anastasia from Fish did like during COVID, he did like 8 weeks every Saturday. He would do like a stream on Twitch at like at the Beacon Theater, and he would like answer questions and stuff. And that was really cool, especially during COVID because there's nothing else to do. So, it was really cool. And I think if you guys can imitate something like that or even improve upon that concept, I think you guys could even become known for that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, even the idea that, we might have people like from other states, like, because we've got some followers and some friends from California and some followers and friends from, like the other side of the world in Europe.
Wow.
Followers from Europe. I go on our Spotify analytics and I'll see that we've got people listening to us from across the world. And it's like, well, until we get the money or, the sponsorship, we'll say, to go on a tour or to play in another country or something like that, until that day comes, they might be like, well, I want to see Katharsis play live. And unfortunately, we don't have like a crap ton of live videos out, which eventually we'll start doing probably more of like live performances. But it would be cool to be like, hey, maybe one day we'll just play a set on Twitch, like during a time when we're busy, or because I mean, a few of us are students, a few of us, are working really hard, and it's like there's probably going to come a point where it's going to be like, hey, maybe we can't gig this month, maybe we can't gig next month, and it's like, you know what, maybe we'll do a Twitch stream. So it's like, hey, if you want to come and watch a Katharsis set on Twitch, or if you're from another country or across our nation, Michigan to California, you want to come and watch us play a set, 2 days a week. Are the days that we practice as of now is Tuesday and Saturday. So I'm thinking either, both of those or maybe one of them. Probably going to have a poll closer to when we have our whole rig set up for, however we're going to stream these. But I mean, yeah, like doing shows on there would be really cool. And it's free, which is the best thing. Is it's free.
Yeah.
You don't have to drive anywhere, because gas is expensive. Some people, you're running low on money and you want to go and support your friends, but you can't make it out to the venue. It's like, Twitch is free, dude. Sign on to Twitch.
That's so great.
We know you're there.
I love that idea.
Send us a message in the chat. Hey, I'm here. Or, I really like that song, or play this one, or, it's kind of more personal.
All you gotta do is create an account and then just follow.
Yeah.
Follow. You can follow other bands too, and you'll be surprised too. Like, how many of your favorite artists or bands are on Twitch too. So.
Yeah, sure.
Because there's tons of bands that are like local that we really like, that we're like actual fans of. That sometimes they're playing somewhere really far away, and you kind of feel like a dick because you're like, I want to come see you and I want to come support you, but sometimes it's like, oh yeah, we're playing 2 hours away, and it's like, hey buddy, 2 hours away.
Yeah, it's a bit of a drive. Yeah,
that's a bit of a drive.
That is, yeah, for sure. That's crazy. But yeah,
because I know we played shows and not had people come because it was like 2 hours away. Like we played in Saginaw, and that's like 2 hours from Metro Detroit, so it's kind of a stretch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, it's great. What was it? Oh yeah. So my next question has to do with actually what you were describing in Michigan. What is that scene like right now with what metal or rock? How is the scene building? Have you made a lot of connections or?
Oh yeah, I mean there are strong bands out here.
Cool.
There's a lot of strong bands out here.
Yeah,
that's really good.
There's a lot of thrash acts out here, and then you got us in the middle. We've made friends with a band that has really, really come up into their own within the past year called 10,000 Teeth, and there's a band that Aaron had just left, but we were still friends with a band called Cyanide. Heavy metal bands, like just straight up, balls to the wall heavy metal, and then there's us, and we're heavy, but we got we like our Alice in Chains and our lighter stuff, so we got our harmonies and our
melodic elements,
melodic choruses and stuff like that, which really that's the only thing setting us apart from these other heavy metal bands, because these guys are heavy. There's another band called Apocalypse. They're a straight up thrash band, and they're very good. And then there's kind of a hardcore punk style band called Disorderly, but it's just straight up really fast, heavy riffs, fast drum beats, and everything like that. And then there's us. But we seem to fit in really well here, but we love it so far.
Letters from Abel is great. No, I was just gonna say it's been great being part of the scene, because like Aaron said, I mean, it's great to be like fans of these other bands as well. And then you get built-in fans for our band, and we're built-in fans for them too. And it's great just because everyone's so supportive of one another, and it's just a great environment to be able to work in. And it's kind of like just a dream come true.
The musicians scene is that everybody in the bands are everybody else's biggest fans. Like 10,000 Teeth, whenever we play, they're losing their freaking minds, and they're like the ones, and then when 10,000 Teeth goes on, we're right back out in front, losing it for those guys.
Most bands are like right in the front row, like always supporting each other at shows. It's really great.
What it's all about. Yeah,
that's so great. I haven't really, honestly, you can call me a poser or whatever, but I hadn't been to many like local shows, whether they be metal or rock, even though I do this mostly because when I started this, it was like 2020. So then there's no
COVID.
shows. 2021, still not really. 2022, started getting into it. Didn't have the time really. Now I just hosted my first show actually last night. It was crazy.
Oh, congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you. It was a super success. It was so much fun, and it was just cool seeing the camaraderie between the bands and everyone, and just seeing everyone having a good time and supporting each other. It's just so wholesome, even if we're screaming about like fucking killing people, it's just so great. It's so great to see like everyone just be like, we love each other, it's great. And we got to support one another. And I think that it's great to see that that's happening in Michigan too, or at least in your area too, because I think that's really important for any band and any scene to thrive is the interlocked connection between bands.
The awesome thing usually is that people who are further away from Metro Detroit, because that's kind of like that, this like 23 mile to like 8 mile from, I don't know, like it's a very large area of like venues all over the place where bands from like Port Huron or Bay City or people from kind of like really out of the way from the Metro Detroit area come here to do shows all the time. Our close buddies in 10,000 Teeth are all from Port Huron, which is like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from most of the venues we play at. And they come out here like almost like every week or every other week, either seeing a band or playing out here. It's such a big supportive group of musicians in this area that like people come from further away and come out here and play and get people to come out and see them. And it's a growing audience, and you can see their fan bases get so big, and there's so much overlap. There'll be like our Spotify, it'll be like fans also like, and it'll be like these other bands that we play with and bands from fucking 3 hours away, 2 hours away. And like also they pull bands to come out closer to them. Like we got asked to come out to Bay City. All of the bands around here are all going out to Marysville, which is kind of close to Port Huron, to do a big festival that's getting put on by our friend Mike Montaigne. He's in a company called Infuse Productions, and they're collaborating with 10,000 Teeth for those guys who live really far away, but they're pretty much just, they planted the seed in the scene here and then just said, all right, now that everybody knows who we are, everybody come out here. And maybe that could even create a bigger scene out there for people to go out there and have fun and realize that there's just as much metal music and local bands going on out there as there is around here.
For sure.
Really exciting.
Yeah, that's super sick. I think that's just
sorry if that was a run-on idea.
No, it's okay. Run on as much as you want. But yeah, I think it's I think that concept is just so cool. I with my show last night, I had we had a variety of bands. We had like one metal band, one alternative band, kind of one almost classic rock, almost something band, one like pop punk. It was really cool. And it was cool seeing like so, and some of the bands were like I'm in Connecticut. One of the bands was in South Jersey. So like it was cool seeing like them come, and then like and then they reposted on their story like someone like who like lives near me saying like, oh, I love Away Game, which is the band name. Like that was just so cool for me to see like new fans finding that stuff. And I think once everything, not everything, but once like things settle down, if they ever do, I mean with gas prices and everything like that, it should be cool seeing you guys on the road and eventually planting more seeds.
We plan on doing some out of town stuff after the album was released. We plan, because we've been gigging a lot this summer. We've really wanted to make it one of our main focuses to really conquer the summer, because in the 3 years that I've been in this band, Katharsis has never really had a strong summer, to gig. It was either we didn't get any summer gigs or the COVID summer. Yeah. And then we were in between members last summer, which was really tough. But then around the fall, we got these two guys, and I was like, all right, we're doing really well. I want to really, really play a lot this summer. So we have been doing that, and we have these next couple of shows coming up, and then a couple of shows in August.
Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio at the end of this month.
Wow.
29th. July. And then the day right after, we're back here in Michigan to play in Marlette, and then we don't play, I think, again for another couple of weeks. But after the album in the wintertime, fall, winter, spring, to play a little bit more, out Ohio, Illinois, just try to establish a fan base out there, because it seems like we've already got a strong support system, down here. So we want to see how good we can do out there.
That's really
our fans usually turn out for most of the shows we play around here.
Yeah.
we've got a pretty strong support group here, like a lot of like consistent faces, and then just usually a pretty large amount of people will come to most gigs that we play, especially at the Diesel, which is a really cool venue in
It's like our home right now.
New Baltimore.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's definitely our home.
That's so
We
cool.
definitely have like a residency right there right now. It seems like New Baltimore.
That's sick.
Kind of
Yeah.
a way of passage for a lot of bands. Like, you know, that like people like have a decent amount of like I wouldn't say respect, but they definitely like, they'll be like, yeah, I like seeing this band. I know who this band is. Because when you start going to the Diesel a lot, even promoters will be like, all right, we're gonna put a show on at the Diesel, and we're definitely gonna have that band come. Like, I feel like there's a certain level of respect that you kind of get when they start asking you and keep coming back.
Yeah, for sure. That must feel really
That's what we're
good.
trying to do with the Sanctuary right now.
Yeah. It must feel really good that not only people enjoy your craft, but like avidly want more. And I think that's a really cool phenomenon. That's something that happens a lot in art, and I think, or in anything really, but I think it's just really cool that that's starting to happen with Katharsis. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, for sure. My next question has to do with lineup changes. I know we've talked, or at least kind of danced around this topic, but essentially I'm not going to get into anything personal, but how has unless you want to, but how has it been as a band enduring these changes and staying together, and in general pushing the same message forward for 4 people? How has that been? What have those struggles and challenges been like?
I definitely think it, just because I'm the only original member in the band, on a technical level, I would technically say that Dom really is the original drummer, but I started this band when I was almost 19, with a good buddy of mine, Alex, and another kid we met, and it just didn't work. We were a couple months into being in the band. We got our first bass player, and we met Dom, and Dom was phenomenal. And we had only played one show, and we didn't have anything recorded. So it was kind of like, yeah, we're gonna move on with this guy because he's really talented. And then we came over his house, and he already knew all the songs. And then we kind of wrote some stuff and threw some stuff away and did some shows. We've probably done more shows with this lineup than we ever did with any of the other lineups of this band. But Dom joined the band, and then sorry?
Because when I first heard these guys' music, because my first show was also their first show, I saw them live, and I was like, I really, really, really like this band. And I was saying to people who saw the show, I was like, man, I'd like to play for that band. And then a week later, they're like, hey, would you like to play? And I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, well, we asked him if he wanted to jam, but he was friends with our original bass player from high school, and he said, yeah, Dom's interested in being in the band. And I said, well, ask him if he wants to jam. And then my other guitar player went over to our old drummer's house and got his stuff and was like, hey, we're gonna move on. And then we stuck with that lineup for a little while, and then our buddy, he needed a change of scenery, and he went to East Lansing. And it was kind of like, hey, we still want to practice every week. He couldn't come back and forth from East Lansing because that's like practically a 3-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive. It was like, all right, well, we got to move on. And we moved on with dignity. It was all friends. Because, we hung out with him a bunch of times. We went and saw Tigers game. Like, we would hang out. He would come over for bonfires, and we would all hang out and, drink and shoot the shit. And, it was all good. We were all still buddies. And then our original bass player was just really busy, a super talented musician. He's in a band called Drive Safe. Super, super talented guy, beautiful voice, great ideas, great harmony ideas, great. Just availability wasn't working out. Like I said, we didn't do a lot of gigs with that lineup. And actually, we almost started another band, and we technically wrote one of the songs that's on this album with our friend Justin from Letters from Abel. Excuse me, pardon me.
No, you're good.
We technically wrote a song with him, me, Tyler, Dom, and him, and we were thinking we were going to start like a grunge band and kind of like restart and move on. And I had joined another band. And then after a little while, we're like, Tyler, why don't you just join Katharsis, and then you get us another guitar player. And of fucking course, he knew Beck, and Beck was like the perfect fit for us. Me and Dom kind of compare him to the touring guitar player from Porcupine Tree. What's his name?
His name is John Wesley, and literally, because when we were looking for a guitar player, it was really hard. We were really having a hard time finding a guy, and I kept telling him, I was like, I don't need somebody who can like shred, which he can, of course. I just need somebody who can get in here and do what we need him to do.
On the 29th and 30th, we're going to be playing in Ohio, and then in Marlette, and both of those shows, those are going to be our 14th and 15th show since December 3rd.
That's impressive.
And December 3rd was when we started gigging with this lineup of the band.
That shows commitment.
We've done a lot of shows with this lineup. I think more shows, more consistent shows with this lineup than we've had with the old Katharsis lineup. Even though we did play a handful of shows, but we've been playing a lot, and I think we've done a lot more with this lineup, and I'm very, very happy with it.
Staying consistent.
Yeah, I mean, we've been writing songs and recording and getting new merch going and stuff while that's been happening. Like we've really been trying to stay up on top of the game, and we're trying to keep making big steps forward and trying to come up with new shit to do and keep ourselves busy intentionally.
As far as the chemistry goes, too, it was. Trying to find guys, because we would jam we had two other guitar players that jam with us, but it wasn't there. We weren't really gelling, and those obviously didn't work out. But we had known Tyler forever. Me and Aaron had become really good friends, especially Aaron, over the course of COVID, gotten to know Tyler really well, and we started with him and Justin Abel, our friend from Lecture Abel. And I was like talking to Aaron, because Aaron had mentioned the possibility of, because of the way the band was going, we weren't doing very much because, like Aaron said, our bass player was very, very busy. It was hard to land shows that all of us could be free for. And so we were bored. We weren't really doing anything. So when he even brought up the idea of, if you guys needed me, I would, I'd be interested. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we eventually just said, fuck it, we'll just hire him. And then we ended up getting back at the same time. And I was like, okay, so we got a brand new lineup and it's working. And once everybody got comfortable with each other, because he was really the only new guy that we didn't know. Me, Aaron, and Tyler knew each other, obviously. We didn't know Beck. Tyler did, but he eventually.
Yeah, and Tyler and I were well acclimated to each other's personalities and like sense of humor.
Cool.
Everything worked out so great. We're best of friends right now. It's like, being a really, really good band together. I think we're a very, very good friend group together.
Our chemistry definitely gels well.
That's really good.
Personality.
Aside from when Tyler hits me when I mess up.
Yeah, every time.
I have a whip behind the drum set, so anybody who messes up.
That's great.
Yeah, Dom has two different kinds of sticks. He has punishment sticks and drumming sticks.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
They're all the same sticks.
Well, the punishment sticks are sharpened.
Yeah. That's great, guys.
He files them down to a sharp point.
Sharp point.
Yeah, like they're like more like spears.
Is that more for you guys, or is that more for people trying to get on stage?
No, it's for us.
Either or.
Oh,
I go solo and Dom just stabs me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
We've never had a problem with people getting on stage. It's kind of funny because for the first time ever, I think at a local show, our last gig, our buddies in Apocalypse had like people stage diving off of the stage, and a bunch of people reposted this really funny video of Beck actually getting up on stage while they were playing and diving into the crowd and crowd surfing. It was phenomenal. It was great. There's such a great chemistry between all these bands, such a good friendship that like we have fun at all the shows.
You respect your
phenomenal
stage shows, but at the same time, you have a little bit of fun. You just go up there and you stage dive, or you do what our friend Brady did, and you do a barrel roll across stage.
You have to have fun. Other way.
It's really fun. Paintings are awesome.
It looks great for videos too, you know.
Yeah, for
Like-
sure. Because that's the kind of stuff that draws people in, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think
they have great energy.
I'm not even sure if you would consider this possible, but I could almost hear your well, no, I guess it is very possible, but I could hear your chemistry just in listening to your music, not just as you as people, but also just as performers. Because like a lot of times with newer bands, or bands just starting to figure things out, as great as their product can sound, it almost sounds like 4 different people or 3 different people playing each their own song almost. Not all the time. Sometimes that sounds great. Like a band that does that I like a lot is kind of the Grateful Dead. But but when I love the way you guys when you play, it's I would almost describe it as like a march. It's just like everything like coincides. It's very orchestral almost, and it's very cool. I really like that.
Thank you.
The first song we ever wrote with Dom, even though Ty and Beck weren't in the band yet, was GFY, and we knew he was you know really talented because we had seen him play and we'd seen videos of him online, and like obviously with how well and how quickly he learned our stuff when we jammed with him, but like this shit that he was coming up with when we were doing GFY, we're like, oh, this guy's fucking special. Like this guy's phenomenal. Like, and a lot of people tell us that, like, when we first started working with our producer, I was the one who messaged him. Is our buddy just go to Haken? And I was the first one who started talking to him. And he goes, he was talking about like, you know, getting stuff set up and how we were going to make the drums and like kind of like trying to engineer it from afar because we like to record ourselves with the help of our buddy Dino Vario from the band Animal, who has a studio and has a drum setup that we used, but literally the first thing that he said to me after we like got done with all the planning out how we were going to record everything, he goes, yeah, and if you could ever get the time to let me talk with Dom, I'd really like to pick his brain. He's a really phenomenal musician. And I'm like,
awesome.
You know, there's more than, you know, Dom's not the only member of the band, but that's cool. You know, but it's true. In all the songs, all of our shows. I mean, I'll look at videos that people post online and it's like, there's harmonies going on. There's, you know, really cool guitars going on with fucking Tyler, a very flamboyant and very virtuosic bass player. And they're always like, well, that drummer, wow, look at that drummer. Like I'll look at videos and people always panning in on Dom. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm like, we're a whole band.
I'm just picturing like you guys setting up for some sort of like TV gig or something, and they just put all the cameras like surrounding Dom. Like but yeah, that's great. I mean, you guys are all super talented, especially Dom. No, sure. But you guys are all so great. And yeah, I think that wraps up our interview. I really enjoy talking to you guys. You guys are super cool. Not only as
thanks for having us on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks for having us on. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. I think your band.
And congrats on your show last night.
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate it. It really went well, and we're looking to have more. And maybe even one day you guys can be in one of ours. That'd be so great.
That'd be
Colorado?
CT. I'm talking like a couple. Connecticut, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know why I thought Colorado.
No, it's like they both start with C, so
that's true.
NCO.
Canada.
Yeah, but yeah. So if you guys want to see more content like this, just follow my Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube. Yeah, everything should be in my link tree, which is down below. Katharsis' link tree will be down below, so you can check out their new Twitch, you can check out their Instagram, you can check out their YouTube, just Spotify, everything like that. So that way you can stay on top of their content. This has been great, guys. We're looking to put more content out like this. I know it's been a bit, but yeah, that wraps everything up. Bye, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.